Welcome to Tank's podcast, where you get to hear people's past experiences and by getting to know what made us into who we are as a person. Now back to my next episode of Tank's podcast. Welcome back to Tank's podcast. My next guest has been on the varsity team in two different sports, soccer and basketball. Welcome to the show, Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Let's just start off with the first question. How has life been since last year's seniors have left?
It's been good, but it's also sad because they were a big part of my developing as an athlete and just a person. So it has their ups and downs.
Right.
So it's been good and it's sad, but it's also nice seeing them fulfill stuff in their life, you know?
Right. Question number 2. How were tryouts in soccer last year? Since I didn't join, so how was that like?
That's really good. There's definitely a lot of competition. Are we talking about like the year Jack graduated, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your grade? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of competition. It was definitely worth it, though. It was fun.
I just wanted to know, just because, since the whole pandemic started and whatnot, I was just wondering how that's been.
So it wasn't. So they canceled our season in the fall, and then they had us play in the spring.
Right.
And it didn't. The only thing that it really affected was like traveling, because like on the bus we would have to wear masks and stuff.
Right.
And like we would like try out, together, but then like we wouldn't really practice together like JV and varsity, because like if the JV player got sick or got COVID and the whole JV team got quarantined, the varsity didn't really want to get quarantined as well, or like other way around too.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, that makes sense. What made you join soccer, basketball, track, etc.? So you can just go by each sport like one by one. You don't have to answer the question like completely, because
Okay.
this question seems like pretty long. So let's just start off with soccer first. What made you join that sport?
I've just been playing it since I was like really young. I'd probably say like 4, and I just like fell in love with the sport, and I always loved playing it competitively.
Right.
And I just found the joy in the sport and like the community and just having fun with my friends, you know, and just making new friends. Like I've met a lot of new people through the sport, and it's just been fun for me.
Right. What about basketball? Same thing, or is it completely different?
It's the same thing. And then like with both sports, or really in all reality, all sports, like you go and watch the games as a kid and you're like, oh, I want to be like those people when I grow up, you know?
Right.
And it's just like dream to play, I guess.
Right. So with track also as well, right?
Kind of. I did track in like 8th grade.
Right.
Track hasn't been like always my favorite, you know?
Right.
Because it's a ton of running.
Yeah.
So like I like track and all, but I honestly did it to get into better shape for like soccer.
I see.
Because like soccer was the following season.
Yeah.
After track.
Right. Another question I have is, what are your favorite memories that involve the sports I've mentioned?
That's a tough one. Because like there's a tournament. I'm gonna share a few of them. Most of them are probably gonna be in soccer, but some of them will be in basketball too.
Right.
So, I think this was like 8th grade season. My team was struggling. We weren't that best of teams. We didn't really win a lot, and so it gets to my 8th grade year, and we go down this tournament in Grand Junction. It's just I don't remember the name of it, but we go down there, and then we like fight for a couple games, and then we end up winning it, and that was a really good experience because me and my friends were so happy because we, like I said, we weren't the best of teams and we didn't really win a lot, but then that 8th grade year we just started winning a lot. And then high school, I had a lot of fun freshman year because I've had fun every single year, but like freshman year I just had they put me as center back, starting me for JV, you know,
Yeah.
and that was really fun. And it just like my cousins and stuff, you know,
Right.
and my cousins and like friends, and like I got to meet you, obviously,
Yeah.
or else I would have known you.
Right.
Um, and then sophomore year, it'd definitely be the run we made in playoffs and how we were playing. I relatively was a young player, and when we went up and played Aspen, that was like some of the playing time I got because we were playing better teams, you know.
Yeah.
And so we were beating Aspen, and then I go and score 2 goals, and that was just that definitely be one of my biggest memories playing the sport because I was younger and they didn't play me a ton, so that was pretty cool how I did that. And then going into junior year, I'd probably say like to see it's not necessarily a memory, but like I would say like to see the progress I made from my sophomore to junior year and getting like a lot more playing time, and yeah, I did pretty good that season as well. And then for basketball, I'd probably say 8th grade year as well when we went down to Montrose and won the Montana Madness um, tournament down there. That was pretty cool and fun.
Right. All right. So, whenever you lose a game, do you find a way to motivate yourself?
100% because I look at what I could have done better and like what I did wrong, and I look at it and I try to improve in those points. And I use that as motivation to get better because if you take a loss and just stay down the whole time, then you're not going to get any improvement after that. Like, it's okay to feel down about a loss, but I feel like if you stay down about it too much, it's just going to tear you apart, you know? So I just learned from what I did wrong and try to do it better the next time and just keep on working hard. That's all you got to do.
I think that's a great way to really like get yourself motivated, or else you're just gonna end up getting yourself trapped mentally.
Just out of curiosity, why didn't you try out for soccer?
I just didn't join just due to the fact that I was pretty scared to, make JV the third time. Even if I did try out without having to practice, it would be pretty obvious to know what the outcome would have been.
Yeah.
What was the funniest thing you've seen someone do?
That's a tough question. I would have to think, because, like, there's a lot of memories, you know, of your friends doing dumb things.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. The funniest thing I've seen somebody do. I don't know, man. I don't really remember anything, really, because I'm either laughing so much and I don't remember, or it just hasn't stuck with me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This may seem a lot, but if you had to give advice to a freshman next year in terms of sports, what would it be?
I personally work your hardest, even if you don't get to where you want to be, like saying JV varsity. Just work your hardest and take advice from the seniors, obviously, even if they're just like on how to play. And if that doesn't, and then ask your coaches like what you can work on, because that always helps you. But main thing for me is just work hard. There's nothing else you can do except for work hard. If you show dedication and hard work, it will outbeat anything else, in my opinion.
That would honestly be a good advice that a freshman would need to hear if this person would happen to be like stuck in a position where this person may not know what to do, like physically or mentally or both even. So, besides sports, are there any hobbies that you enjoy doing?
I would probably say like snowboarding. It's really fun for me, and just like hanging out with friends is also fun to me.
Are there any experiences that you think were important to your lifestyle?
Um, yeah, I do think. So when I was younger, about like 7, I don't really talk about this a lot, but I guess I can. My little sister passed away, and so that changed me for, I guess you could say, for the better. Even though I still makes me sad to this day, you know.
Yeah.
But that changed me a lot because I've learned to lean on God a lot more. Because, yeah, that's when I got saved. Is when I was, after my sister died, because I asked the Lord to be my savior, and yeah, that was a pretty traumatic change in my life, and it's a pretty big commitment, and yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I didn't know that it was something you went through throughout your life, so again, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fun.
What made you who you've ultimately become as a person?
Um, I definitely say my parents, because they have been real good role models and examples and helped guide me through what I've been through with certain experiences. And I also say my parents because my dad's been a coach for most of my life in almost every sport I've played until I got to high school. And I also say, like, my pastors, because I've had several, just for what they have told me and how that affects your life, you know, and just to keep me level-minded, I guess. And I don't know. Those are the several main people. I just say my family in general. Like, not just my parents, but, like, just my family in general. Because I don't know where I would be without them.
I got a bonus question.
Okay.
Which sports brand would you prefer, Nike or Under Armour?
Um, I'm sticking with Nike just for the solemn reason that I like. Are we talking about for specific sports or for, like, just in general?
It's just in general, so I would just like you to elaborate on why you choose Nike over Under Armour, you know?
Yeah, okay. I'd probably just choose Nike over Under Armour because for soccer, I like their cleats a lot more. And then for basketball, the shoes are a lot more comfortable, I guess. But then again, I haven't really tried either Under Armour for cleats or basketball shoes. Actually, I have. I've had to try for basketball shoes. They're comfortable, but I like the look of Nike stuff a lot more. And it's just more comfortable per se. I don't have anything against Under Armour, like their clothes and like their undershirts and all that. It's good, but I just prefer Nike over it.
I see. Any more questions that you'd like to ask me?
Yeah. What have you been up to in your life recently?
Just recently, for some reason, I just gained enough confidence to go for my dream, you know, because my dream specifically is, by becoming is what I plan on doing, like with my life. What are you looking forward to next year? I know it'll be your last year doing the sports that you love.
I just have a fun time and just try to accomplish things I've wanted to accomplish, you know, and like have my chance to do it, you know.
Do you have an idea of what you plan on doing after next year?
Yeah. I'm probably going to go to college and pursue an IT degree. Is what my plan is. But, you know, plans don't always go as wanted. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That concludes this interview. And I would just like to thank you, Phil, for taking some of your time, especially how long it's been. So I would just like to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah. My pleasure, man.
All right, so you have yourself a good rest of your day, Phil.
You as well, Owen.
All right. See ya.
All right.